The 7 tones are those so-called elements of matter, which are improperly classified in the 8 groups of the commonly accepted Mendeleev periodic table. All effects of motion which cause the appearance of these elements is that which is herein termed motion in opposition. The master tone of each octave is the record of all motion taking place within the octave. The master tones are the turning points between reaction and action, just as the double tones are the turning points between action and reaction. They are the beginnings of each new expression of energy in motion, and are records of the old. They are the ends of exhalations and the beginning of inhalations. The master tone of each octave is the inheritance of the original motion of the thinking process of mind. These master tones are the inert gases, which are classified in the 0 group of the Mendeleev table. The state of motion of these inert gases is that of motion in inertia. Motion in inertia is that state of pressure equilibrium which lies between any 2 masses. The inertial line, or plane, is that dividing line or plane toward which all masses discharge their potential. It is the line or plane of lowest potential of 2 opposing areas of potential, where opposing pressures neutralize. This is the plane of minimum pressure of 2 opposing areas. The master tones, which represent a state of motion in inertia and are the inert gases, bear the same relationship to the elements that white bears to the colors. They are a registration of them all. White is not included in the spectrum. It has no place there. The inert gases should not be included in the elements. They have no place there. Of this more shall be written later in its proper place. The 10 octaves constitute a cycle of evolving states of motion. This cycle includes the uttermost limitations of divine possibilities, and beyond it nothing is or can be. The cycle begins with the highest note and descends the scale sequentially through man's unseen universe until hydrogen, the first element perceivable to man, is reached. There is no unseen universe. Those tones which follow hydrogen are man's visible or physical universe of matter, and continue into the 10th octave. Here elemental integration and disintegration have ended the cycle by the attainment of the equilibrium of its beginning. All motion is oscillatory, swinging in sequence between 2 apparently opposing forces, gravitation and repulsion, which are respectively electric and magnetic. This oscillatory motion is a pulsating inbreathing and outbreathing, an inhalation and an exhalation, which is a characteristic of all matter, whether it be in units or systems of units or mass. These 2 apparently opposite forces are the father-mother forces of mind, which, added together, make but the one force. There is but one pendulum to the cosmic clock. All the so-called created universe of matter is but the effect of these 2 apparently opposing male-female forces exerting their opposition. All motion in opposition is both gravitative and repulsive. This is characteristic of all matter. Motion at the inertia line, or plane, where mass disappears, is neither gravitative nor repellative. Hence the master tones, which register effect of motion on this line or plane, should not be included in the table of the elements. All matter is characterized by periodic and alternating opposites of motion in sequence, each opposite being preponderant in sequence. Each opposite force is the cause of the other. Opposition is a characteristic appearance of all effective motion, and has no existence other than as an appearance. In inertia, this appearance always disappears. Motion and matter must not be confounded. Matter, as man understands matter, is only an appearance due to states of motion. The creation of form in matter is the apparent integration of those things which are and always have been. The decreation of form in matter is the apparent disintegration of apparently integrated things. Creation is transmutation or integration of the one simple indivisible substance into the appearance of many complex substances and things. Creation may be likened unto the assembling of a few letters of type for the printing of a very complex ideal. Decreation may be likened unto the redistribution of type after it has served its purpose of giving expression to ideal on the printed page. Matter is light crystallized into the complex ideal of this universe, exactly as literature is type assembled into the complex ideas of a library. Matter is the registration medium of light, just as letters are the registration medium of literature. Matter is light gravitationally assembled into the appearance of form, and radially disassembled into the disappearance of form. The assembling process is what man calls life. The disassembling process is what man calls death. Light exists as light always and forever. All matter is but a variation of the state of light due to variation of dimension of the evidence of motion in the wave by which all motion is expressed. To man, matter means the complexity of many substances and many things. Complexity and variability belong to motion and not to substance. There is but one unchanging substance. The appearance of change does not belong to substance, but to motion. Man lives in a universe of motion, a universe of appearances and illusions, which deceive him, except for those simple, obvious illusions with which he becomes perfectly familiar. Man will stoutly aver that matter changes and that there are many substances, but he would not dream of contending that the moon runs along the road behind the trees as he runs. Yet one contention would be as reasonable as the other. Matter and mind and light and energy are eternal. They are constant. They are cause. Form and motion are illusions. They are fleeting. They are effects.